Right then, guys, it seems there's a large percentage of newcomers to the classic market, really, and so as such, we want to just give you a few pointers, really, tips maybe of what you should be doing, what you should be looking at, and to try and avoid you falling into a trap, really. So a few of our top tips are as follows. So first point, really, first tip one, budget. Obviously, we all have a budget, don't we? We all have a certain amount of money to play with on different things. Work out what that is, and then our tip would normally be buy the best example of whatever it is you're interested in, so the best Morgan you can find for that budget. But of course, don't forget, you can't park it on the street over winter, can you? Because obviously, it speaks for itself, doesn't it? You know, the value of the car is going to plummet if it's left outside all winter. So you've got to store it. So then you know, whether you've got your own storage or whether you need to find some storage, may cost you some money. You're going to have a little bit of maintenance to find, aren't you? If you buy the right car and service up to start with, maintenance is fairly small generally on classics, unless you're going down the restoration road, and then who knows, you can then end up in a world of trouble, really. So our best tip there would be buy the best example you can for your budget. And to be honest, if you can't find enough money to buy a nice Morgan, buy a nice little Sprite, for example. You know, don't buy a banger of a Morgan because that's all you can afford. Buy a better model or a better example of a lesser model, shall we say. So that's a good tip. And again, right, tip two would be find the car that you want or the item that you want. You know, if you've got a desire for that, but you've only got a standard garage, that isn't really going to work, is it? You know, and if you want to take the family out on a Sunday, go and do a show or two, it doesn't work, does it? So then you might have to look at something else, you know. So you've got to sit down, haven't you, and do a pros and cons of what you're actually looking for, what you want that toy, that car, to do. So there's not a lot of point in buying an MGB Roadster if there's 4 of you in your family, you know, because your 2 little kids ain't going to get in the back, are they? So you've got to be a little bit sensible and try and find the car that ticks your boxes. So tip 3 would be do your research. Find out as much as you can about the car in question then. I personally never worry too much about the history, as in, you know, that one's had 3 owners, 2 were the same family, I think, things like that. It's lovely, it's lovely. I'd be more bothered about what you're looking at today as to where it was 25 years ago. 25 years ago doesn't matter a carrot, does it? It's today. You want to know what you're buying today. But it's lovely if it's got the right engine, right gearbox, right history, doctor owned from new, blah, blah, blah. Wonderful. That's a bonus. Today. Don't worry about yesterday. Today. That's the bit that's important. Tip number 4, we say in just about every video, come down and have a look. People seem to think that our little videos that we do are a substitution to coming and viewing. They're not. Far from it. They're a quick glimpse to make your decision to come or not to come. So that's all the videos are for from our point of view. You know, you've seen them on there. We take a good number of photographs, we do a video, whiz round, blah, blah, blah. It runs, it drives where possible. And that is to help you decide whether or not to get in the car and come and have a look yourself. Not a substitution. So again, come and have a look. Go and have a look. Don't come, go and have a look. You must go and view whatever it is you are looking at. You don't tend to, I suppose you do tend to buy shoes now, don't you? And you get them posted, and then you try them on, they don't fit, you send them back. This is a slightly different game, isn't it? Go and have a look, and make sure you are happy with that item. Again, tip 5 would be do your research again, really, you know, paperwork. Not all things come with paperwork. Here we are, look, we've got 3 projects here, and I'm sure they won't all have paperwork. Some might not. Again, do your own work. If you're not happy, if you don't think there's something not quite right or whatever it might be, leave it alone, because there'll be another one somewhere else, round the corner, next week, whatever it might be, that will have all its paperwork, and it will settle your nerves and so on and so forth. But I will say, don't worry too much, because an awful lot of this type of movement sadly comes to the market due to bereavement, and no documents ever do get found. So you've got to apply for them, simple as that. But do your homework so you know what you're getting into. Top 6, no, tip 6 would be start off within a sensible budget for yourself. Lots of people start off with Morris 1000, MGB, there you go, look, you got 2 or 3 bits here, mini, spares back up for these models I've just mentioned. Absolutely fantastic. You get anything you want, nut, bolt, washer, wing, whatever, tomorrow in the post, no problem at all. Cheap as chips for the bits, cheap as chips to run, and as much fun to be had out of that, or that Morris there, that MGB, as there is out of a 50, 60,000 pound Jag E-Type. Probably more fun most of the time, because you don't really worry too much. You can go down the shop in it, shut the door, walk away. If you come back and someone's stood there lent on your wing, it's not really the end of the world, is it? I know it's a principal matter, but it's not the end of the world. If someone's lent on your 60 grand E-Type, you're annoyed, aren't you? And you're going to have a fallout. So, again, it depends on your budget and your interest, but there's as much fun to be had out of that car as there is a 50,000 pound E-Type. Absolutely. Tip 7 would be take your time. Don't rush. Don't buy on impulse. We've all done it in life, haven't we? We've all done it, and you wake up tomorrow and think, oh no, what did I do that for? I've done it. If you've ever bought much, you've done it at some point, haven't you? So that would be my tip. Do your own work, go and have a look, meet the people. Sometimes in life you buy the item off the vendor. If you don't like the vendor, don't quite feel right, walk away. Leave it, because there's another one somewhere else, you know. All right, it might take you a couple of weeks to find it, but there's another one. So my tip there is don't rush. Take your time. If needs be, drive around the corner, have a cup of coffee or whatever it might be, and just think about it, and just have a little chat, and then go from there. Don't rush. So that's my top 7 tips anyway, which some overlap a little bit, most of them, and I'm sure I've missed something out there. I'm sure I've probably missed out a really important something that you're going to let me know about, aren't you? You know, any comments and things put on there, but that's my top 7 tips for the newcomers into, and indeed the existing people within the movement and the market. You know, it's a lovely market and a lovely movement, should I say. You get to meet some lovely people, and generally speaking, we're all a little bit quirky, and we get on quite well. So there you go. All the very best to you.